What is up, Arizona? Happiness is a choice as always. Thanks for choosing us. Welcome back out here to Salt River Fields. It is another 12 Sports Spring Training Takeover. It is a big day for the Diamondbacks. They host Team Mexico as they get ready for the World Baseball Classic. And it is our second time being out here for a takeover out here at Salt River Fields. Cameron Cox, Mark Curtis joining us at the desk.
How lucky are we?
It's great.
I was saying to my wife this morning, she just had her knee replaced.
Oh, and he got out of the house.
So I was, first of all,
she have a bell?
It's one of those little finger bells, you know. And so when Cam called and said, "Hey, can you come over?" Yes.
Can I go now?
No, but we were sitting outside this morning getting some sun, and thank God she's doing great.
Good.
And I said, "It is March 2nd, and it's going to be 85 today."
Wow.
You know, and my sister back east in the northern Virginia area.
Oh, just so warm right now.
They're getting snow today.
Yeah.
So, I mean, really, and you know, and thanks to you and all the other Cactus League teams, thank you for ruining my restaurant experience. Because you cannot get
everywhere.
cannot get in a restaurant in town. You can't get on a golf
You
course.
can.
He
Mark
can.
Curtis.
Listen, do you know how many times I've called him up and said, "Hello, this is Derek Hall. I've got a
That will not get you in.
D-Backs CEO Derek Hall joining us right now here on D-Backs on Deck. Guys, it's so much fun to be out here. So we could use your name to play golf. Is that fair?
We could think of better
could
names.
think- okay.
Associated with the D-backs.
There we go.
Yeah.
We could
Use Zach Gallen. It's going to get you on.
D-All, it's good to talk to you, man. Thank you so much for
Good to
joining
see
us
you
today.
guys. I love this takeover.
Yeah, it's been great. You guys have been great. This partnership is great. We're fired up for another year with you guys. Games on 12 News once again, including opening day. We're already starting to plan it. We're going to be out there with you guys. We can't wait. It's going to be a great year.
I love it. You know, taking the pregame and the postgame out to Dodger Stadium, it's going to be terrific.
I'm going to have
sure.
signs made and just going to, put them all over L.A.
Love it.
Yeah, all over. We need L.A.
We were
Let's
talking.
plaster D-backs everywhere.
There we go.
We were talking about how crowded the town is right now because of spring training and just our great weather. But how cool is it to be able to host the beginning of this World Baseball Classic little playoff series?
Mark, it is special. And for us to have Team Mexico here at our complex, this is where they're training as well. And their general manager is our broadcaster, Rodrigo Lopez. And, he had come to me early and asked if they could train here. We said, absolutely. I think USA had interest in training here as well, but we had already made that commitment to Mexico. So it's nice to have them now here. And then tomorrow, of course, Team USA is going to play on our field against the Rockies. Great to have them. Great to be a part of WBC. We've been hosting, the first couple of WBCs at Chase Field. We've got to get back to that, to make sure that they come and play at Chase Field, because it makes sense with the Cactus League and with the Grapefruit League for Miami and for Chase Field to be the two spots.
Derek, what do you make of the WBC? And do you like where it's at in the spring, or maybe is there a hope one day to line it up in August with the Olympics if baseball goes back?
Cam, it's a great question. I think, in looking at how special it was for the hockey in the Olympics and watching that they would actually stop and disrupt their season.
Which is a commitment.
It worked.
Yeah.
It was a commitment, but it worked. And those guys were in great shape. Whereas right now, our pitchers aren't stretched out.
Sure.
We worry about injuries at this point in the preseason. But I love the WBC. I like that players want to go play for their nations, that it got so competitive back in the last one. And, looking at how it finished with USA against Japan, all eyeballs were on that final game, that final series, and our own pitcher, Merrill Kelly, was the starter in that game. So I like it. I like it a lot. But I want to see what happens with the Olympics and with baseball, where it is actually in the middle of the season, about the time that the All-Star game.
Because that would be, guys would be in full shape, and
Absolutely.
they would be able to. Bodies would probably be better equipped to take that kind of break from a regular season.
That's right.
Ready to roll.
If you've got a starter doing a good job, he could go 4 or 5 innings, not just one, and be on a pitch count that's so tight.
And I think people love rooting for their country.
Absolutely.
I was walking in about an hour ago, and there was a whole family getting out of their car wearing Team Mexico jerseys. And I said, "Oh, are you D-back fans also?" And they said, "No, but, we love coming here. They're Giants fans." I'm sorry.
You had to say that, Mark?
Well, but my point is they're here.
They're visiting.
They're visiting.
They're the visitors today.
Yeah.
And but they get excited about it, and the whole country right now, America as a whole, and I know from our recent ratings on the Winter Games,
Oh,
that
yeah.
the whole valley is jazzed about rooting for Team USA.
I can't remember the
100%.
last time I woke up at 5 a.m. to watch hockey.
I
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Like
Oh, I did.
breakfast
And we
ready
all
to,
did.
We all did.
Yeah, for that, especially that gold medal game. But, it's fun to see so many, like the Giants fans who are here, even though they're here to see the Giants, they'll come to a game here just to see Salt River Fields. That's
Yeah.
the other thing. So
Yeah.
people with different jerseys, you see Royals fans and Rangers fans, but they all come here to experience what it's like at Salt River Fields because it is still the best spring training facility in all of
I
baseball.
think so too,
I do too.
and I'm not getting paid. You don't want to rate me. I'm not getting paid anything to say it, but
You
really,
get you some free noodles in right field. How's that?
I do think
That
when
would be a gift.
coming out here
I know the price of those.
is a special experience. It
is.
It always has been since the day, because I remember Tucson Electric Park.
Oh, yeah.
And
Me too.
And that's a different experience.
That was a different
So
drive
y-
and a different experience.
Yeah, so this has been just a game changer.
It is. And the way we built it, Mark, where the fans can walk with the players from parking lot to the clubhouse and from field to field and go right up to the backstop and watch these guys train. There's nothing like it in the game. And our players have embraced it. They know that that's a big part of the experience out here for our fans.
Dee, take us inside MLB a little bit. You look at the countries that are here that you wouldn't associate with baseball. Of course, Nicaragua and Colombia and places like that. But Israel, Great Britain,
Yeah.
Italy.
Yeah.
I mean, how? And the Netherlands. Drew Jones, one of your prospects,
He's
is
going to play for his dad.
for his dad, Andrew Jones, Hall of Famer. So
Yeah.
it's just incredible to think about.
It is, and then you see like our entire infield is playing, right? Arenado is playing for his country, and you got the other three playing in the Dominican and Santana and Perdomo and Marte. It's a lot of fun, but the teams that you just mentioned, Israel, Italy, the Netherlands, the Great Britain team, they all did great 3 years ago. I mean, they all did really well, and it's fun to see. But again, it's if guys can't make their team here in USA, they're going to go find some lineage to go play somewhere else because they want to play in the WBC, and all these teams are competitive. Canada's very competitive every year. Mexico's got a heck of a team.
Yep.
The Dominican is stacked.
Yep.
USA is stacked.
Japan.
is
Yeah,
always
loaded.
yes, Japan.
So getting back to MLB, and when you look at these international teams that are now playing quality baseball, is there an end game in sight for MLB?
I think just continue to grow the popularity of this setting because I can remember years ago we said, well, you call it the World Series, but is it really a World Series? Is it one day not going to be your champion here playing the champion from Japan, Korea,
Right.
Asia? And that's where we're getting to with this. So I really like the idea. If you're truly going to call it a World Series, make it a World Series.
Here we go.
Cool.
It even growing
Yeah.
the game, and it does so well. Hey, listen, I want to ask you about some D-back stuff, if you don't mind.
Not
All
at
these
all.
injuries.
Yeah.
How are you guys dealing with the list of injuries that have happened so far in spring training?
It's tough, just another carryover after last year. I thought we were done, Cam, with these injuries, but we're getting through them. I mean, you look at Corbin, he's going to be close. Carroll, that is. I mean, he'll be hopefully right around opening day. Merrill says he's feeling really good.
I believe Merrill was throwing.
He was throwing.
Soft
Yep,
toss today
he was
out
throwing. Gurriel's looking really good. So when these guys are ready, and then when we look at Corbin, Burns, and Martinez and Puck, that's going to be like getting mid-season acquisitions, like big-time trades.
Those are top
right?
players that
Top
are coming
players.
back at some point.
So Mark and I talked about this a few weeks back. We need to make sure we can bridge that gap to when these guys get back. If we can keep our heads above water, stay competitive, stay in this, by the time we get those guys back from injury, we're going to be in good shape.
Corbin Carroll has been nonstop, by the way, since
He's amazing.
He had
He was
surgery.
here the next day.
He was
Mark,
here the
it was
next
the
day.
craziest thing. We were all waiting. Obviously, the news announces on one day he's going to have surgery. We talked to him. The next day he is here.
That's
Yeah.
the motivation we need
And
for knee
he's-
replacement.
Mark, do you need your knees replaced too? I thought it was a hip.
Okay, just within the dome of friendship
Yes.
and silence here, I need everything replaced.
But Derek, like he was here the next day. He talked to us, and all of a sudden he's throwing against that wall with his other hand.
Yeah.
I saw him taking one-handed swings in the cages, and he talked about how that's just a way for him to stay ready. And then you have Tor the other day who was asked, "Hey, is he going to be opening day ready?" And the skip goes, "It wouldn't surprise
wouldn't
me one
surprise
bit."
any of us.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and what an example he is for his teammates, for the rest of the team. They've
Yeah.
watched this. They see it. They see how hard he works. And he does it every day. He does it throughout the season. I mean, he doesn't take time off. off. And when the season ends, he's right back here at Salt River Fields working out every day. He worked out on Christmas Eve.
He said Christmas at the ballpark in the off season, right?
He's sort of the prototypic gym rat, isn't he?
He is absolutely that. Yeah, he loves the game. He works hard as anybody. He respects the game. He's so good to his fans. Here's a little story, a little anecdote about Corbin Carroll. So last year, and we always encourage our players, go sign autographs at the agility field each and every day. Go sign autographs for fans, take pictures. And Corbin came to us and said, I don't think it's right. Our biggest fans work for us. They don't get autographs. And he said, I would like all of our players. You were talking about 450 full-time employees. He said, I want all of them to bring one item that's very special for them for me to sign.
Wow.
And he signed autographs for every one of our employees for like a week. I mean, volunteered it on his own.
Yeah.
No one's ever done that in my 35 years.
He kind of, in a lot of ways, is a throwback player.
Yes.
In terms of, instantly from his rookie year getting it.
Yeah.
Understanding that it was a lot more than just catching balls in right field.
Great point, Mark. And he is a throwback, and he's such a good person and a great son, great family. But he's a rock star. I mean, when this kid goes to schools and meets with kids or goes to boys and girls clubs, they go crazy for him. I mean,
which he does a lot, by the way.
He does a lot of it. And it's so fun to see. No offense to Gonzo, but we only used to see 20 or 51 out there on jerseys. Now you see 7 everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Everyone wants a Corbin Carroll jersey. I just love it.
Any concern about Merrill?
No, I don't really have any concern. Okay. The good thing was it was a nerve, right? I mean, and it was the back. You always worry, of course, if it's the shoulder, if it's the arm. Like Garcia came out of a game the other day, and it looked like he called the medical staff out. You panic and think, uh-oh.
Here we go.
What is it? Well, it was lightheadedness.
Yeah, it just didn't feel good.
Right. And
it's
I feel the same way for Merrill. I mean, he'll be fine, and they have great success with the treatment they already gave him for this. He'll be fine. Thank goodness it was a nerve and not something more.
I know Merrill was looking forward to being the opening day starter.
Yeah.
Now you've got Zach Gallen. And it was just sort of a fortuitous, things didn't work out for him somewhere else. You still had an opening. You were able to sign him on a one-year deal. What does having Zach Gallen back mean? And 2, do you think he can return to looking like Zach Gallen?
I do. I think we're going to see the Zach Gallen that we saw really in 23, 22, 23. He started to look like himself for that second half last year, too. He was back, and his velocity's back right now. I think it's great that he's back because he was a leader in that rotation. He's one of the leaders in the clubhouse. He loves playing here. He loves Torrey. So I'm really pleased that he's back here, and he belongs in our rotation. He's going to help. I think we were lucky to get him. It's going to help him. He'll be able to bounce back, like you suggest, Mark, for this year, and then it's only going to help him for his future deals.
And Derek, I thought Ken's line about the 900-pound gorilla calling the Dodgers that at the beginning of the year was pretty fitting.
Yeah.
But when you guys are healthy, I feel like you guys stack up really well against them. What do you think?
I do too. I really do. And we enjoy playing them. I think most teams are fearful of it. We embrace it. We encourage ourselves to play, and
you've done it.
We match up, and we've done it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think back to that 23 series. I've never seen anything like it. Though it was even more satisfying to go in and win the last 2 games of the NLCS in Philadelphia. It was certainly fun going through the Dodgers in quick fashion, but it's a tough place to open up. Opening up at Dodger Stadium is not going to be easy. But I like having them in our division.
Yeah.
They are the 900-pound gorilla, but that just motivates us to show that we can compete with them, and I think we can.
When we were talking a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about all of my friends back in St. Louis, where I was before I was lucky enough to come back here to 12. All started calling me when you got Nolan Arenado. There's a guy, you just talk about an incredible run with the Rockies. Then he goes to St. Louis, and he's a lot like Goldie. He instantly becomes a fan favorite wherever he goes, and you plug him in effortlessly.
Yeah.
And I start to think about that 2001 team with the veterans that you had. You added Carlos Santana. You have Nolan. You have the returning veterans.
This is like Mark Grace and Jay Bell.
Yes,
and,
exactly.
That's exactly right. Yeah, and that's a great name because I think people have forgotten how good Arenado is. And, he is similar.
Just so we're clear, one of the greatest, if not the greatest third baseman ever to play.
Unbelievable.
That the numbers, he's in that
10 gold gloves,
yeah,
right?
There's only like
platinum
15
gloves.
people who've ever
And
done
Torrey
this.
said he wanted to fix the defense.
Yeah.
There's
You're
part of your
fixing it.
fix.
And he still plays elite defense. But you talk about another throwback player. He is exactly that.
Yeah.
This guy, all we hear about is this is not cliche. He's the first one in the morning and the last one gone in the afternoon. He comes in here, and if he sees another infielder going to the to work on infield and the short field, he will go back out again so that he can take infield with them and continue to work with Perdomo and work with Santana. It's great to see. He is a gamer. He's got a game face, and he's going to influence these guys. He's going to be a great addition to this team, much like Longoria was in 23. We needed that veteran presence.
Right.
All right. I know we've kept you longer than we've asked. I know you got to go real quick out the door. What's happening before the game? Are you getting a belt?
I think I might be. I heard that I might be. We got the WBC World Boxing.
He's fighting Dusty Rhodes.
I'll be running away from him.
They're going to lower the cage at second base. Got it.
So he's going to throw out the first pitch, and I heard I might be getting a belt.
Okay.
So,
Nice.
so I'm going to wear that thing all the time.
Yeah.
Every home game.
Forget the rings, the belt all the way.
Yeah, the belt.
There we go.
We were talking earlier, and I know you want to go.
I could stay here all day with you guys.
We were talking about a guy in your position. You get a lot of awards because you're out there in the community, not only in your capacity with the Diamondbacks, but your foundation, and you get plaques, okay? And people, and they're wonderful. But sometimes you get a thing.
Yes.
Now you're going to get this belt.
Yeah.
What other things do you have?
Well, I'll tell you, the greatest thing I have is the 23 NL Champ trophy. So when we received it on stage, and I told Mark this story, but Ken, they give it to Ken. He gets interviewed. He takes it and hands it right to me.
Yeah,
So I'm holding it.
I remember watching that.
That's the one that's been missing since 23.
The D-backs, the team hasn't been able
Well,
to
that's
find
the
it.
cool part.
It's in his office.
I said to Ken after the game, I asked him, I said, Ken, why did you just give me the trophy right away? And he said, why wouldn't I? And then, he kindly bought one for me and him to have at home. So it's that's one of those things that's really great.
That is cool,
Yeah.
and now you have the belt.
You guys have done it. Ken has done it. He's lived up to every word that he's kept his
He's
promise
been
to the
incredible.
Valley.
No doubt.
You too, Derek, and
Thank
building
you.
this team, and y'all continue to put a competitor out there, and I know fans appreciate
We
that.
got to do it for 12 News.
Yeah.
We got to win for 12 News.
We
You're
appreciate
our partner.
Yeah,
I am so excited we're doing this
Me
again.
too.
Last year on Friday night, sitting there with Cam, it was my favorite
so much
day
fun.
of the month.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you guys did such a good job showcasing our players and showing their personalities. We can't thank you enough. I guess Rachel won't be out as much as she was with her new gig.
She'll be
but-
out there.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, she'll be out there.
She does
We'll
a
get
great
her.
job as
Yeah.
well.
All right.
Yeah.
The champ is leaving now.
I'm leaving.
D-back CEO Derek
Here
Hall.
comes the champ.
We're going to zoom in, Mark, when he's out there. Derek, appreciate the time, buddy. Thanks a lot.
champ.
Just leave the headset there.
You got
You're good to
it.
go,
All right,
man.
thank you, guys.
You're free. Thanks for spending some bunch
Thanks,
of time
T.
with us.
Good to see you.
We're going to zoom in on him, Mark, when he's out there. I can't wait to see him hold up the
yes.
belt and all of that in front of the crowd. He's going to put it around his waist, walk all
Just
around.
don't take anyone down because then we'll have more injuries.
There we go. Mark, it's just so awesome to be out here, and it's so great to be with the D-backs. He said a lot of interesting things, and what I like when it comes to this team, they're pretty confident they're going to be okay.
Yeah.
It has been weird, and it felt like Groundhog's Day at the start of spring training. I mean, every time I would come back to the studio, I felt like you were going to – who got hurt today? Because it truly felt like that at the beginning of camp. But they've been able to kind of weather this storm a little bit.
I have to say, man, as someone who used to sit where you sit and someone who sits where I sit now, when we come on the air – and I'm not out there getting to talk to the players and the coaches every day, and you come back from Cardinals practice and Jonathan Gannon's dealing with another injury, or you come back from Diamondbacks practice and Torey Lovello's dealing with another injury. You just can't believe the parallels of these two teams when it comes to injuries.
There's way too many.
And listen, the Cardinals did what they did, but had they been healthier, who knows if we'd be talking about a different coach right now.
Yeah.
And had the Diamondbacks been healthier last year, they could have made that playoff run.
Yeah. And the best part is they're going to get healthy at some point this year.
But I think they got the right guy going with Torey. I don't think there's a better and we're going to talk about that in a second, but I personally don't think there's a better manager in baseball.
Yeah, you know who we can ask that? one of his relievers right here, our main man, Ryan Thompson, just sitting down with us. We appreciate the time.
How are you, brother?
How's it going, buddy?
Good
It's good
to
to see you, man.
Good to see you, man.
Good to
Here,
see you.
just since we're talking about it, I know you heard it. What's it like to play for Torrey?
He's the best.
Yep.
He's not only an amazing coach, but he's an amazing human being. He's a guy that you just enjoy to fight for, that you want to go out there and you want to make him proud. He's like your pops. Like you
Can't let down Dad, right?
You can't let down Dad.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. He's really unique in his approach because he cares so much about relationship, and that matters. It matters in our clubhouse. And you see the run we had in 2023. It's just like it's a bond that we have where we just want to go out there and we want to go to war for each other. And that's kind of the culture that Torrey provides and the front office provides, and it's a really special place here in Arizona.
So as a player, is there room for you to feel sorry for Torrey when you see all of these key players going down? Do you sense that, or you got your job to do and that's enough to worry about?
I mean, I'm not really quite picking up what you're asking.
Well, I'm asking when you have key players go down with injuries.
Yeah.
Do you have time as a player to go, God, I really feel for Torrey because I know how much that hurts the team.
Oh, yeah.
To lose that player, or because of your position on the team, is that your straight focus?
Yeah, I think that we feel for everybody. The guys that are getting hurt, the players that are having to pick up some slack for Torrey, who's like, he's the manager of the team. So, we lose a game, everyone's eyes are on him. It's not his fault. Mm-hmm. And everyone has their role to play. So, yeah, absolutely. I feel bad for all of it. But something that I think is really cool is that last year, the hottest run we had was when we had all these injuries. Yeah. You got to remember that.
That's true.
We didn't finish necessarily the way we wanted to. We got swept at the end there. It wasn't great the last week. But the last, month and a half was electric. And that's something that I think we can all, give Torrey, a round of applause. We had so many injuries. We had so many things against us. We traded guys at the deadline, which was absolutely the right decision. And then we put together a stretch where we were competing down to the last, third to last game of the year where we were competing for a playoff spot. That's impressive.
Yeah. Tell me this, what don't we get as Diamondback fans, as casual watchers of the game, as in Cam's case, more of an insider, what don't we get about winning and losing streaks in baseball? Because, to your point, when you're injured, you run off that great streak, and then you start getting players back, and all of a sudden it's not happening. What don't we get about streaks?
I think there's a lot of possible answers. I think if you were to ask everybody that, they'd probably give you a different answer. But baseball's an interesting game because a lot of it's individualistic. You got the pitcher with the ball in his hand, you got the batter with the bat in his hand. So it seems like it's a very individualistic game, but it's really not. Chemistry really matters in this game, and really the peace and freedom that you play with matters too.
Yeah, and momentum, right? If a guy gets up at an important part of the game and he gets a hit, that momentum is felt in the dugout,
Momentum shifts matter.
Yeah.
And so I think that if I had to put words on what happened last year was the moment where we kind of let our shoulders drop and we're like, okay, we're not so tense. We traded, we sold at the deadline. We're not so tense. Then everyone was just playing free. And so if we can channel that at the start of the season of okay, let's put the stress to the side. Let's play with peace. Let's play with freedom. Let's play with joy every single day.
Yeah.
I think that we're going to have an amazing season. And I think that that's something that we learned last year was if we play free every single day, we're going to perform no matter who's out there on the field.
Or if you just play with fun. By the way, I love those shirts.
I do too. And
Mark,
you always have a great one on.
Yeah.
Mark, this story behind the shirt's pretty cool. Torrey had everybody write fun on a piece of paper, right? And then the team put it on a shirt.
Oh, that's great.
Is that right, Ryan?
Yeah, I'm trying to find mine.
Yeah, because that was the motto of the back half of the year. Just got to have fun. And that's what you guys got back to.
I think this one's me.
It's very legible.
I was about to say, that's the more legible one of the bunch.
I think that one's me. And then I think this one was J-Mart maybe because I was like, what are you even writing?
What are you writing?
This looks like a calculus symbol or something.
It looks like he was trying to sign his
That's
name.
the cosine.
That is not an F. That's like a sigma or something. I don't know.
Ryan, what's spring training been like for you guys? Where are you guys at right now?
I think we're doing great. I'm really excited about some of the young guys that are performing. I'm excited about Gallen being back, about Seawald being back. I'm hoping that nothing's wrong with. He seems like, I've talked to him a lot. It seems like he's doing great.
Great.
I'm excited about the World Baseball Classic. There's so much excitement here, and a lot of us are healthy. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling healthy. I think the Diamondbacks are going to turn some heads this year. I think we're going to impress some people, and we're going to make a really good season this year.
Mark, this guy survived something the other day and bounced up like a champ. How is your shoulder?
Fine.
Fine. Mark, what happened the other day? He was pitching on the backfield, took one off the shoulder.
Ooh, comebacker?
Comebacker. Square on the shoulder.
You're not behind a screen?
No.
You were pitching a game simulation?
Kind of.
Yeah,
Oh,
like live batting practice. Took one off the shoulder, spent a couple seconds down, popped right up like a champ. No big deal. Then finished the outing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You okay?
I'm good,
See?
man. Usually I'm like a ninja out there and I dodge it. But I threw a really bad pitch, and K-Rob, Christian Robinson, that guy's strong, man. I think he hit that ball like 200 miles an hour.
Yeah.
But it got me right in the meat.
Yeah.
Like right in the back of
I
the
wish
shoulder.
I had some meat on my shoulder.
Yeah. If it would have got me anywhere else, I think
Well, your labrum and stuff is in there, right?
Yeah, it's deep in there.
Yeah.
Hopefully the ball didn't hit my labrum.
That's right.
It hit the back of my deltoid. I was like, that's where I got the most meat.
And so you laid down on the ground. Once you realized everything was okay, you were good.
It was like the shock. I get hit by a train, and I'm like,
Well, yeah.
am I dead? Am I seeing God right now?
Is my head still on?
What's going on? And then it's like, okay, I think I'm fine. I get up. Everyone's like, what's going on? Are you okay? I'm just like, I'm good. Let's go. Let's finish.
Everything still works. Okay, I can throw and all good.
Just need to take a few laps and
shake it
be
off.
like, thank you, Jesus, for keeping me alive.
There we go. Mark, that's what we're going to do next time. Anytime you and I feel pain with it.
So if I fall on the way down to read the 6 o'clock news,
I
just get up and shake it off.
Just shake
it. You didn't break your neck, so
I
let's
broke
thank
my
the
labrum.
Lord. Yeah.
How every year when you get new players, and you have a few in the clubhouse this year, it changes the chemistry. It changes sort of the culture a little bit. And I'm wondering, with the addition of Nolan Arenado and Carlos Santana, how things change this year.
Yeah, I'm excited for that too. It's a little early for me to know exactly, but I know those guys are really well respected throughout the league, and they've been seamless joining the team. And they're going around communicating with everybody. It's been just amazing fit, and I think that's something that's special about our front office is we don't really bring in any bad character guys. Not that there's a lot of those in baseball anyways.
Right. Sure.
I think that maybe that's a misconception about athletes, because you think about that. I remember when I was a rookie and I come up, I was so scared, oh, I've watched this guy on TV. He seems so intimidating. This guy might be a jerk. Most guys are just super nice.
Yeah.
And so there's that, but I think that, Mike and the team do such a good job of bringing in guys that not only are just great human beings, but they mesh with us. And it produces that chemistry. It helps us win.
I'm not asking the traditional sports questions, so I apologize for that.
Yeah.
But I'm so interested. So you were talking about being intimidated and wide-eyed when you came into a clubhouse the first time. What was that experience like, being called up to the show the first time?
Well, the cool part about it was that so I was with Tampa, and the guys there that were the guys that I looked up to sought me out and made sure that I was super comfortable.
Wow.
And that was something that I never forgot. And that's what I do now for young guys, especially relievers, bullpen guys. I make sure I seek them out, and I make sure that they feel comfortable, make sure they have everything they need, make sure that they know that they're here for a reason, that they're it was Kevin Kiermaier when I first got called up. Kevin Kiermaier, the first day, he grabs me and pulls me aside. I'm just knees shaking, he grabs me and he's like, hey, I want you to know that one of the major reasons why you're on this team is because a lot of us guys went and talked to the coaching staff and said, we cannot not have this guy on the team. This guy has earned his spot. We are scared to face him. We don't like facing him. And you have earned your spot.
How freaking cool is that?
It was the cool, and it just freed me up. It was I don't have to do too much, just be me. And that was what his message was listen, you belong here. You earned it. You earned it. You belong here. And just hearing that from a guy like Kiermaier, who is the face of our franchise at the time.
Sure.
And then seeing the other guy, Charlie Morton, who is just not only a guy that would encourage you, but he was a guy that led by example. And one of the things that I learned from him was anytime that year, my rookie year, we went to the World Series. So we had a lot of celebrations, all sorts of stuff. We're all popping champagne. We're all celebrating. Charlie Morton's got the broom. and he's out there like cleaning up so the clubbies don't have to clean up. And I just thought that was the coolest thing because he's like, of course he's in dad mode, but at the same time it's like he's so aware of his surroundings where he's like, how can I like contribute to this clubhouse in ways that other people may not realize?
Yeah.
And so I learned from that. And so like when we have celebrations and we have beer showers and we have things for rookies who have their first hit, first homer or whatever, it's like I'm the guy that wants to clean up. I don't want the clubbies to have like, oh no, man, we got a beer shower. We got to clean up the mustard in the shower. Like, no, I'm going to do that. And I wouldn't have done that if I didn't learn that from Charlie. And
Each one teach one.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
And you've done that with other players too. Like you've been the guy to seek out players. And I know you and I have talked about this before. When guys are struggling, you make it a point to go pick somebody up.
Absolutely. I think that struggling in sports or in life, it's hard, right?
It can be anything, and not just sports. Yeah.
It's just in general, like when you struggle, life brings a lot of challenges.
Sure.
But I think that when we're on the national stage, we got millions of people eyes on us all the time. There's a level of pressure to that because if you mess up, everybody sees. And maybe it's not even your performance. Maybe you have a moment where you drop an F-bomb on the field. Like, you're being judged for that. We're in a social era of social media where everyone has access to you.
Yeah.
So I go and I blow the game tonight. I'm getting potentially 36 messages telling me to go kill myself. That's the nature of the game that we live in. And so
wait. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
So you're actually getting threats based on your performance in real time?
We all do. All of us. No matter who we are. And that's how toxic social media is. Yeah. And so like I'm aware of that. It happens to me.
Sure.
So I know it's happening to other people. And so that's something, especially in the bullpen, because like we win as a team, lose it as a team for sure, but we're winning 4-3 in the 8th inning, and someone comes in the 8th and gives up a 2-run homer. All eyes are on this guy. This guy blew the game. It's his fault why we lost. And that's how the fans sometimes will view it. And I think it's a gambling culture is why it's so aggressive.
Yeah.
But I know that guy who gave up that 2-run homer, hopefully it's not me, that guy that gave the 2-run homer, he's getting messages. And it's like, we can learn to have tough skin. We can learn to just, this doesn't matter. And I think most of us do a very good job at that. But still, when you are constantly reading this stuff and people will find your family and they'll come after your family and they'll find out something that like you'll post a picture on Instagram about a family member that passed away and you'll have messages about this person's probably glad they died so they don't have to see you pitch. Like,
oh my God.
There's stuff like that happens and it wears you down. And so, I say all that to say that, yes, like when someone's struggling, whether or not it's off the field or on the field, it needs to be an emphasis where guys like me and other guys where we just love on each other, where you just go and we don't have to talk about anything specific, but just like produce that environment of like, I'm with you, dog.
Yeah.
Like,
be there for one another.
I'm with you.
I mean, when you think about it, you can't think, I mean, the kicker who goes out to kick the game-winning field goal
yes, good example.
with no time left on the clock, the relief pitcher who goes out and gives up a dinger, that nothing incites more pressure and more fan anger than that person in that moment.
Yeah.
You can go up and strike. You can go 2 for 4 and you've had a great day, or 1 for 4.
Yeah.
But you can't go out and give up a home run and have a good day.
Yeah. And then the other aspect of it too, and it's a joke among us bullpen guys, but like we've had me and a couple past guys before. It's a joke the next day because you blow the game. It's just like it produces this element of like uncomfortability because you know that you feel like it was your fault. Everyone else feels the the tension, and so they don't want to come talk to you. They don't want to make eye contact with you, and so like we call it leprosy. So you're like, hey man, you got leprosy today?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah man, no one will want to come near me today.
Yeah.
And so it's like it just produced. Oh, look what we got here.
Who is this?
Look
he did
at
bring the belt.
this.
Let's go.
They gave him the belt.
I love it.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Well, put it on.
Put it.
Here, turn around.
No, just wear it on your shoulder. There you go.
Oh, that's so
Look
good.
at- The champ is here.
You know, he didn't come crash your interview. I'm just saying.
That's so good. I'm glad you did. But yeah, so it's like having that feeling of like, man, I got to get out there and have a good game so I can cleanse myself of this disease.
Right.
And so it's like what I want to do is I want to get in front of that, and I want to
talk.
Yeah. Like,
we're gonna have that conversation.
Instead
whether
of
you
me
want
walking through the clubhouse and being like, "Man, that guy's probably hurting. I'm gonna let him get through it before I talk." No.
Hey man, how you doing?
I'm gonna go sit there and just be his friend. Whatever he needs is what I'm gonna be, and that's what people are doing for me, and as well. And that I think that's something that will help our bullpen really just not live in this shame culture of, man, I had a bad game. Who cares? Like,
in the grand scheme of things, and I know you're a very spiritual person.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
It's
it's just how we support our families. Yeah. It's nothing more than that.
Yeah, baseball's a game.
What we do and what you do, it's phenomenal. I'm not downplaying it at all.
Yeah,
and you've got a God-given talent, and it's a wonderful thing. But ultimately, what's important is your family and your friendships and your relationships.
Amen.
And you got to be able to, because we get it, not to the, I mean, if I have a bad newscast, nobody's going to call me and say, hey, you should go kill yourself. And I'm not belittling it.
Sure.
But we do get a fair amount of hate in today's politically charged climate.
Yes.
And so I get it. And I got to a point, at least for me, where I had to just stop reading it because it's too toxic.
There's no need to read it.
And like talking about performance with this stuff, like, and tying it to your faith, is that if you are like, we all have past. We all have a past. We all have trauma. We all have shame, right? That we've been through. We all have things that we're guilty about. The enemy likes to target that. He likes to use that to whisper lies in your ear. He wants to cripple you of your true identity. He wants you to walk in your false identity. And so if you are shameful, you're never able to be your best self. You're never able to actually operate the way that Christ wants you to operate. And it's the same way in baseball. If you are walking in this shame, you're walking in this, you're never able to go out there and perform at your best.
Yeah, of course.
And so we can annihilate that culture and just be like, hey, we're the best in the world at what we do. We're here because we're nasty.
Yeah.
And the nature of the game is we're going to have plenty of times when we suck.
Yeah.
And who cares?
Yeah.
So let's go out there tomorrow and just play as if that didn't happen.
Yeah, and have fun.
Have fun.
I mean, that goes back to what Tori preaches and the core guys in this clubhouse that have been here for a while. It's have fun playing this game that we're lucky enough to be paid for, to gain fame from, and enjoy it while it lasts, because it is a fleeting thing.
100%.
Ryan, I appreciate you opening up and telling us some of that.
Awesome.
That's can't thank you enough. Real quick, out here.
Whatever they want, man.
All right, there we go.
I could be anything. I think that last year I proved that I can be really successful at throwing 4 out of 5 days. So it depends how they want to use me. I can throw 1+s for them. I can throw almost every day. Whatever they want from me, I'll be ready to go.
There we go. All right, we're going to get you out of here. Thanks, Ryan Thompson.
You. Always a pleasure.
Yeah,
and that was really insightful, man.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you
for having me, guys.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Great D-backs reliever Ryan Thompson here joining us on D-backs on Deck, live on the 12 Plus app for your TV. We're just going to keep rolling with them right here, Mark. And from a D-back player, a former D-back who is now kind of a coach too as well.
Good to see
you.
Hey,
hold on real quick before we get to Jake Lamb here. We got an interview with Alek Thomas on the field. He plays for Team Mexico. Let's go ahead and listen to that. Jake Garcia on the field with Alek Thomas.
Alek, can you take us through the level of pride you have kind of honoring your Mexican roots and taking the team today for Team Mexico?
It's definitely, I'm very proud to be Mexican, and I'm proud to represent, this side of my family. And they're very proud of me for doing this. And I would do it, all the time, no matter who, asked me to play. Like I'm for sure playing to put on the colors and wear the flag is an honor, and I'm glad to do it.
Is it your mom's side of the family that's from Mexico?
Mom's side of the family is from Mexico and Tucson, Arizona. So I'm putting on for them.
Very nice. Obviously, this team came so close in 23 to kind of shocking a lot of people, 3 outs away from beating Team Japan. How much does that still stick with you guys, and how much does that drive you to win that gold medal this year?
I think for us, it's like, all right, we know that we're capable of doing things like that, and we're just going to take that momentum and try to apply it to these games here. So I think we have some guys that had some experience in a playoff like atmosphere, and I think we have a really good team here, and I think it's going to be, pretty similar to last year, I hope, but just a little bit different outcome at the end, I think.
On the topic of playoff atmospheres, you go from spring training where guys are just trying to get their work and get ready for the season to immediately jumping in to packed stadiums and high leverage moments. What is it like kind of having to dial it up so quickly in the baseball season?
I think it just takes back to our preparation during the off season. Like, we know that we're about to play in these high stakes games, so I think our preparation is a little bit different as opposed to, getting ready for spring training and those type of games. So, I've tried to, tick up the intensity, out, in the games when I was playing for the Diamondbacks. So I think we're ready. These games are, to help us, prepare for, the high stakes games. So I think we'll be prepared.
Last thing we got for you, it's a really exciting outfield between you, Randy Arozarena, and Jarren Duran. What's it like taking the field with those two other guys, and how much energy does that give you and the rest of the team being out there with them?
Yeah, for sure. I think those guys are definitely, big personality guys and guys that I'm excited to play with again. I'm definitely, honored to play with those guys and play with the rest of the guys on the team. It's definitely going to be really fun, and I haven't really talked to him about a new celebration yet, but once we start, getting it going, I think we'll come up with something cool, and I think we're just going to have as much fun as possible. And these games are serious, but at the same time, it's baseball, and we're trying to have fun and represent our country and try to make a representation for Mexican baseball.
Thanks so much for the time, Alec. Appreciate it. So this is really a house-divided situation throughout the entire Diamondbacks organization today. Alec Thomas, obviously one of the D-backs starting outfielders. He's taking the field for Team Mexico today. And then we have Rodrigo Lopez, whose interview I don't believe has aired so far on D-backs On Deck, but we spoke to him earlier today, and here's the backstory. Rodrigo Lopez is a color commentator for the Spanish-language broadcast for the D-backs radio network. He's also the general manager for this Team Mexico national team. So he was in charge. He was the architect of putting this roster together. It's the second time that he's been tasked with that job. He did it for the first time back in 2023, and then once again this year. He told me earlier today that he thinks Team Mexico's roster this time around, while it might not have the same star power that they did in 2023, he still thinks it's one of the top 3, top 4 best rosters in the World Baseball Classic this season, and for good reason. Randy Arozarena's back in the outfield. Obviously, his celebration whenever he had hit a double or rob a home run in the 2023 WBC was well known. A little bit of a arm cross. He got the crowd really fired up. Then Jarren Duran of the Boston Red Sox, he plays center, and we expect Alec Thomas to be this team's starting right fielder. The one weakness for this Mexico staff is their starting pitching. Do they have the star power to go up against a Team USA that trots out Paul Skeens, that trots out Logan Webb of the Giants, that is going to trot out Tarek Skubal for a couple innings in the World Baseball Classic, or a Team Japan? Shohei Ohtani's not pitching in the World Baseball Classic, but we all know the level of star power that he brings. Roki Sasaki will be a member of their rotation. For Team Mexico, though, do they have the starting pitching to get through what amounts to a 7 or 8 game window that they'll have to run through to win a gold medal? Team Mexico has never won gold here at the World Baseball Classic. Lopez and Thomas both told me it would mean the world to not only this team, but the entire country. We're going to send it now to a story we did earlier on Tarek Skubal, his relationship to both Kingman, Arizona, and his impact this year for Team USA. When Paul Goldschmidt was a few years into his tenure with the Diamondbacks, Tarek Skubal was busy winning state titles at Kingman High School. Today, the two Arizona legends took the field together as teammates for the very first time. You can expect both their on-field contributions in the WBC to be minimal, but their simple presence is speaking loud. He didn't throw a single pitch on Monday and will only throw a couple once the games begin. But Tarek Skubal was still the talk of the town.
It speaks volumes. Definitely because of what's ahead of him. He's got the 2-time Cy Young back-to-back, but this guy's about to make, $500 million here in the next offseason.
Team USA captain Aaron Judge knows a big payday when he sees one, but he says Skubal considered the payout to pitch for his country priceless.
The boys love it. They're hyped in the clubhouse, so it means a lot, and maybe we can squeeze another game out of them. I don't know. We'll see.
Paul Goldschmidt is squeezing every last moment as well, soaking up the Arizona sun once again before the sunset of his career.
Truthfully, I didn't think I'd get another opportunity, and so when D-Row called me, I was just so thankful that he thought of me.
Goldschmidt's gone from a starring role with the Stars and Stripes in previous years to a likely reserve.
They said, hey, there's other first basemen on the roster, and I just said, whatever you guys need me to do.
He said he's there for leadership and mentorship. Goldie seeking his second gold medal at the World Baseball Classic.
This is important to us. It's important to the players here. It's important to all of USA Baseball, and we want to go out there and represent, and we want to win.
There is an unfortunate Arizona absence here at Team USA Workout Day, and it's causing their outfield star power to take quite a hit. Corbin Carroll was supposed to make his WBC debut. Instead, he's rehabbing a broken hand and hoping to be ready for the D-backs by opening day. In Phoenix, Jake Garcia, 12 Sports. Baxter, my producer, is telling me to wait for a second. So, all right, guys, so that was yesterday. Team USA, a workout over at the Papago Sports Complex. I want to preview the opening day matchup. D-backs against the Dodgers right here on 12 News. The entire sports team will be out in Southern California for that matchup. Let's bring it back down onto the field, though, because I'm with the one and only Baxter. He's joining us for this live shot. He's not the most well-spoken individual or verbose individual, but how are you feeling about today's matchup? Couldn't have said it better myself. Cam, we just got done watching Zach Gallen warm up here on the field. Team Mexico is his opponent today. It's his second start of the spring. We'll see if he's stretched out a little bit more than he was in his first start, where he only went one inning.
Jake, good warm day for baseball.
Good warm day for baseball. And look, Baxter's ready to roll in case they need someone out of the bullpen at some point. D-backs in Mexico today is the game. Zach Gallen getting another start here in spring. Thanks a lot, Jake. His second start of the spring, I should say. Joining us right now live here at the desk, former D-back player, now assistant coach. Is that a proper title for you?
Player Development Advisor.
What does that mean exactly?
That means Jake Lamb is advising today's youth on how to play the game.
Wow.
Is that right?
Exactly what he just said.
Is it?
Yeah, so I'll be working more with the minor league guys. Yeah. I'll be going to the affiliates, all the affiliates. I'll be living here at home, spending some time here at Salt River, and also going to games at Chase. I'll be on the field for BP there. I'll sit up with Hazen and the whole front office crew. But really just I wanted to stay in the game. Just finished playing in June. Knew I wanted to be done. And, yeah, I just want to stay in it. I got a 1-year-old at home that I want to spend time with. Thank you. I want to spend time with her.
What's her name?
Rainey.
Rainey, nice.
Rainey Jane.
Congratulations.
But, yeah, so this is a great way to come back. With a lot of the guys still here, as, Mike, Amiel, Tori, a whole bunch of other people that are still here. It's great. I love my time here, obviously, and I wouldn't be back here if that wasn't the case. And I love what they're doing here, and I love the group that they have.
Jake, how many years was it? How many years in the big leagues again?
In the big leagues, 8.5.
8.5. I mean, to play that long, just what did that mean to you? And then I know it's still probably, I don't know if we use the word retirement or not, but it's still probably kind of raw. But then to still be around the game, how special is it?
Yeah, I mean, I played for a long time, and it felt good, and I wanted to get those 10 years, but it didn't happen. But my last 2 years being in AAA, working with a lot of young guys, that's kind of what drove me to make this decision of, hey, this is something I like doing. Working with these young guys, seeing them make adjustments, have success, it's really fulfilling for me. And so, just looking down the road, if I want to do something like this is kind of my year to kind of figure that out.
So do you think that maybe managing, if they said, hey, come down and manage this minor league team and see how it fits for you and how it fits for us?
I would want to try it. That's not at the top of my list of things to do. But that's also, I think, because a little outside of my comfort zone. And so that's why I would want to try it and give it a go.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, the manager is the one managing the players, but also the people, right? Like, you gotta manage, the egos. You gotta manage things are going on off the field.
Yeah.
Like you got to manage the group, and I think I would be good at that. But again, that's something that if you asked me a few months ago, I would say absolutely not. But the more I'm around some guys and the more I'm around these young guys, it's one of those things where I might give it a shot.
When you
Manager Jake Lamb has a good ring to it.
it does.
It does. It kinda rolls.
Here's the skipper, Jake Lamb.
Yeah,
What kind of manager would you think you'd be, like a Torey Lovello and blow up occasionally, or are you more mild-mannered?
I have a long fuse, and once that fuse is up, I will blow up.
He's going to point to all the umpires. Throw you out. Throw you out.
Yeah.
That's I think, personally, and I want to hear your take on this, one of the greatest things about Torey is that he is emotional and he is passionate and he's not afraid to show it.
Yeah.
And the guys must really appreciate that and feed off of it.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be back here if I didn't think Torey was a good manager, if I didn't respect the guy. I loved playing for Torey. I love how he handles his business, how he communicates with his players. He's constantly checking in with his players. And that's important for such a long season and such a difficult game, you know. And I can't stress enough how he checks in on the human, not just the player, because there's so many, you know, people out there that we're more than just a baseball player. This is what we do, and we get to play the best game in the world. But at the end of the day, like, in order for us to click at 640 every night, not just personally, but as a unit, that's what he does so well.
So equal parts dad and the coach who would make you run after practice because he didn't think you gave it 100%, and the guy that'll drop an F-bomb when it's required, and the guy that'll say great job.
And then he'll throw a house party at his house.
Yeah.
For the whole team, right?
No, I mean, but that's
all the above.
That
correct?
says a lot about why I think he's probably popular, because
No, he is. Yes.
there are truly a lot of guys probably talk family, but Torey lives it.
Yeah. And I couldn't have said it better, because you can talk and say all those things, but he backs it up.
There we go.
And
Jake,
that's what matters.
Jake, do you have a favorite memory here with the D-backs?
I mean, shoot, just all of it. The wild card game was a great time in 2017. What I'm gonna miss the most is being in the dugout, or being in the locker room after the wins, popping the champagne, doing all that, you know, making the playoffs, and just being in the grind of it, going through tough stretches, but your teammates having your back and picking you up and just talking ball. But again, that's why I want to stay in it, because I want to be as close as I can to it. I feel like I have quite a bit of perspective throughout my career. I've had plenty of success, but I also had plenty of failure to even that out, and I've learned from the failure and the successes, and that's kind of where I'm teaching from now. So it's fun, and it's fun to tell these young guys that, like, hey, listen, I failed at the highest level. I failed at the AAA level. This game's hard. I also had a lot of success, and, like, these were the things I did. These were the things I was doing when I was failing, and if I could go back and change them, I would, but that's why we play the game.
The fact that you're so grounded has got to rub off on these young guys that you talk to, because sitting here for 5 minutes with you, it just flows off of you. Like, I'm pretty confident with where I am in life. I'm a grounded person. Yeah. I'm here to help if you need me.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to intrude, and a guy who brings a wealth of major league experience.
Yeah. I also don't have an ego, so it's in the sense of, hey, if you don't want to listen to me, that's okay. You can go down that path. I went down that path and failed, but when you turn back around, I'll be waiting right here.
There we go.
And I don't take it personal.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Good for you,
But
man.
because sometimes you're going to butt heads with a coach or a hitting coach or a pitching coach, and you think, no, this is the right way, and you go down that path, and it's the wrong path, and eventually you turn back around. And so sometimes you need to learn through failure.
There we go. Yeah. Jake Lamb, former D-back here. Now, give me the title one more time.
Player development advisor.
Advisor.
Yes.
Jake Lamb now here coaching with
Young
the D-backs.
players are in good hands.
There
I
we
think.
are.
Oh, I appreciate
Jake,
it,
thanks
guys.
for stopping by. We're out of time. We
course.
appreciate it.
Of course.
It's really good to see
Yeah.
you. It was
Good to see
awesome
you
to see
guys.
you the other day.
Yeah.
I was like, I know that face, and it's just great
I
to have you
snuck
back.
up on you a little bit.
You did. You were hiding back there in the dugout. He's kind of just watching,
Yeah.
just like this. But it's great to see you out there. These players are better for it.
They are.
Thank
and
you.
they're
Those are
definitely
kind
going to
words.
benefit.
Appreciate
you.
that.
And who knows? Maybe a manager one day.
Maybe a manager.
Maybe.
This is where it started.
Yeah.
This we gave. There we go. I'm just,
We planted the seed.
we planted the seed. There we go. Jake, thanks a lot for the time. Thank you so much for watching. Hey, don't forget, we got Mark 11 games for people this
I
year
love
on
it,
12
including
News.
the season opener.
That's right. March 26th, we'll be live out there in LA all day long, getting you ready for the opener right here on 12 News, and then 10 games the rest of the way, including the home opener against Tigers on the 30th, for free for you on 12 News. Thank you so much for watching. D-backs on deck. It's been a very fun hour. Thank you to all the guests stopped by: Derek Hall, Ryan Thompson, Jake Lamb, all the above. Alec Thomas on the field for Team Mexico. You can catch anything you missed right now on 12news.com or on the 12 News YouTube page. We'll be back here throughout the day on 12 News from our second 12 Sports Spring Training Takeover.
Thanks for watching, everyone, and have a great afternoon.